What is up, YouTube? I'm David. Welcome to my channel. If you're an entrepreneur and you are making your ideas real, you've come to the right place because that's all I talk about here. This is Book Review Tuesday, where I share a book that I recently read that I think might be helpful for you. Today's book is it's called Expert Secrets. It's by a guy, his name is Russell Brunson, as you can see here. And Russell runs a company called Clickfunnels, and Clickfunnels is a really interesting company. Maybe you've never heard of it, but basically it's one of the fastest growing non-VC funded software companies in the US and maybe even in the world. The thing that's really interesting about them is that they're based in Boise, Idaho, and they didn't take any startup funding. And that's something that's really unique. Their product, the software that they sell, is landing page software. So it's a really obscure product. It won't touch millions and millions of people, but what they're doing is they're delving really deep into building a community and building a base as opposed to selling a software, which is something that I think is a really powerful idea. For any entrepreneur, for anyone building a business, is rather than just selling or putting ads in front of people, a community is always going to be more powerful. I'll share with you the 3 things that I learned from this book, as well as at the end of the video, I'll tell you whether I think that it's worth it to pick up. This book is interesting because it intertwines 3 different types of books. The first one is a pure sales and tactical book. The second one is a human psychology leadership book / storytelling book. And the third one is a branding book. So they're all kind of mashed together, and each chapter, the chapters kind of jump around. And if you came looking for one specific type of book, it probably won't be the book for you. But the 3 chapters that I really loved were really powerful for me because I'm thinking about brand and how you build an amazing brand. The 3 aspects of building a great brand that I learned from this book are: 1, attaching your brand to a cause or your product to a cause. Now, the quintessential example of this is Tom's shoes. For every shoe they sell, they give one away to someone in need of shoes. Really powerful idea. And the story behind it is also a powerful idea. I'll link to a podcast. The founder, his name is Blake. He was down in Argentina, just kind of taking some time off. He came across some people who were missionaries down in Argentina who were giving away shoes. Then he kind of came across these really cool shoes that he had never seen anywhere. And so a light bulb went off in his head that said, well, maybe there's a way that we can connect people who want these cool shoes that I sell and people who need shoes. That's the story of Tom's. Your business shouldn't have maybe not as explicit a cause, but there should be a reason why you're doing what you're doing beyond just selling product. You have to come up with that. It helps people identify with you. It is always going to be more valuable than just selling a product, in general. And so that's one of the things is, kind of believe in your cause. The second aspect, the second point in the book that really resonated with me was the telling of a story, the hero story. People want to connect with stories. They want to believe in things. And again, they connect much more with stories that are compelling. By someone knowing about you as an entrepreneur, knowing your ups and your downs, knowing the challenges that you've gone through to build your company, people connect with that. And as entrepreneurs, I'm very guilty of it. You want to seem like everything's okay, and you want to make sure that people believe in you and have confidence in you. And part of that is putting up a shield to try to pretend like everything's always okay, and it's not. By sharing some of your ups and your downs with people, they relate to that. They have empathy towards you. They realize that you're a human being too that just wants to do good. Telling that story, telling your story, or telling the story of a customer whose life became better because of your product, it ends up just being a really powerful endorsement of why you're doing what you're doing. Notice we haven't really talked about the product at all. We're talking about the story, the reason, things that are deeper than just making a lot of money or selling a lot of product. And that's something that I think is really important to realize, is that with business, you can either just have a business to make a lot of money, which is fine, but you can also have a business to make an impact. And people definitely connect with businesses that make impact. Third point that really powerful was that talked about you have a moral obligation to tell everyone about your product because it's that good and it will change their lives. That is a really powerful idea. If you're an entrepreneur and you believe in your product more than anything, you believe that it's going to impact people's lives because it really does, then what's going to end up happening is that you are going to feel it inside of you and you're going to want to tell everyone about it. It doesn't matter whether it's somebody who might not ever buy your product. That passion, that fire to tell the world about your product will come through. So that's the third aspect, is having this moral obligation for whatever you're doing. You want to share whatever you know and you believe and what you're selling because you feel like it could impact other people's lives. Those aspects are so much more than business plan. They're so much bigger than features in your product. Those aspects are what are going to differentiate you and your product from the thousands or hundreds of thousands or dozens of other products in your market. The first, as we talked about, is one, what's the cause? What's the reason why people should believe in your product? What's the reason for it existing? The second is telling a really great story, your story about ups and downs, challenges, your highs, share your lows with people. Just share the process with people. Be transparent so that they understand what you're going through to build this company, because you're probably going through a lot. And then the third is feeling a deep conviction and having a moral obligation to share your product with the world. That care, that deep belief in your product will show through to your customers and show through to people who aren't your customers, and maybe they come across someone who's your customer and they remember about your product and they share it with that person. Those are the three aspects of this book. The interesting thing about this book is that it is only $5. It's free, but you have to pay shipping and handling. I give this book 2 thumbs up. It jumps around a little bit, recommend it. So thanks so much for watching. Hopefully this was helpful for you. If it was, definitely give it a like. If you want to see book reviews I think entrepreneurs can read to help them with their business, and then personal development books that I really like, hit the subscribe button. And remember, walk your path. Peace.